as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I am back for another crafty video. So today we're going to have a play. And we're going to have a play with something I haven't touched for ages. I mean, it's got to be a couple of years at least since I did anything with playing cards. So we're going to do something with playing cards. So I've got some playing cards here. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, so maybe those, or I haven't got all of my sizes out. You know, I've got the little tiny ones, and then I've got the next size up, and then I've got some that are just a bit smaller than these. Then I've got these, then I've got the next size up from there, and then I have this size, which I don't know whether to use those, and then I have another mid-size, and then I've got these. And I don't know whether to go full-on big. Do you know what? I think we're going to go full-on big today. So we like a giant card. Now I've got two out because I had a bit of an idea. And that's why I wanted two. I think I'm going to cut her out of the middle. And I'm going to have this kind of over mounted onto here. And I think I want to cover them in some. So I think what we'll do is we will work on this one. Let's cut the middle out of this one first. Let's do that first, yes. And then we can go from there and decide what we're going to do first. So, yes, long time since I've done anything with a playing card, I know, but we're, you know, after all of like what, nearly 800 videos, we have to revisit some things. And I don't think I've done this version of a playing card. I think I saw it on Pinterest, or I've seen it a few times and thought, oh, I haven't done anything with two cards kind of overlaid with each other. So, and I was looking for inspiration, and this is where I've landed. So these are, because these are new style playing cards, so they are plastic coated, so we are going to have to do something with them. So that might be some clear gesso, or some decoupage with the interlining of some, what are they called, napkins. Cool, I cut that out. See, she could even be used. So what I'm thinking is this kind of framing this, and I know that this is not the same suit, but that's what I wanted. So it suits me. Shut up, Dave. Yeah, so I think what we might use is some interlining of some napkins. So I've got some napkins here. I love this napkin, and I really want to use this. I found it hard to use it, so it was gifted to me. I found it harder to use it because it's not on a white background, but I think this might lend itself to this. So I'm not going to be able to peel these apart without the aid of some tape. So I have tape. Have tape will travel. I don't think it works like that, but don't want to rip too much off. Just enough to get the layer. There we go. That's that realigning that I want. So that'll be good for kind of just laying over that 9 of hearts to kind of just mean that it's got a key for me to take colour and stuff to it. And then this one is the interlining of the napkin, which we might use on the surround. If it's got some bleed through. If it hasn't got any bleed through, I might not use it. So, oh, it does have a little bit. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So, don't really know what I want to do with this today. I knew what I wanted to use, but I don't know where I want to go with it. So, I was thinking this over this, because it's got some pattern in it. And this one, oh no, this one first over here, because that doesn't have any pattern, but it'll key it nicely. So I'll use a bit that's perhaps not quite as ripped. That bit there would be perfect, wouldn't it? So let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Mod Podge for that. I've got this from my last video. I did put it back in some water, so I've been a very good boy. And I'm not talking about it's been there for 6 days or anything like that. I mean, it's only been in there. I literally just finished filming the last video, so it's there now. So there's 2 ways I could do this, and I think I'm going to use the latter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this onto here and leave it to dry, and then put that layer on when it's dry and then iron over it. And I think that will work, and if it doesn't, well, we can always just put another layer on and then just do the... I think it melts it. I don't know. I think it kind of goes like a plastic coat. Oh, Dave, don't do that, Dave. Put this down first. Otherwise we'll all be in a right mess. So, yeah, so I'm going to put this on. Not watered down. This is just Mod Podge as it is. And a nice coating of it. I don't want it to be like really thin. And I know that I've coated it completely. Like I say, could have used some clear gesso, but I'm sure most of you know that I don't like the feel of gesso. I don't like that chalkiness of it. That's why I don't like using the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. I was trying to think what the word was as I was speaking, could you tell? Distress Oxides, I'm not keen on them because they've also got a chalky texture. So it's that chalkiness I'm not a fan of. Like I say, I want to make sure this is completely covered, but I don't want to have it too thick. So, and the colour it's picking up is off the mat because the mat is not clean, I'm afraid. So that's what these marks are here. So I shall pop that on, and what I will do, put that brush in there, put the lid on that, and I will get this dry, and then we will do maybe I should do the other one actually first. So let's put that to one side. Let's do the frame as well, and then we can do the two the same way. And then we're not messing around, not having to do it again. So now I don't know if what I think is going to happen will happen, but the only way to find out is to try. And you know I like to try things. I don't always know the answers, but I like to try. So, and if you don't try, you'll never succeed, because you won't ever know. So, unless somebody else is going to do it for you. So, bit of red coming off this mat at the moment, but you know, it all adds to a bit of interesting colour on here. So hopefully I've got it all edge to edge. Right, yeah, so now what I'm going to do is get this dry, and then we will see what happens. Now when I iron it on, I'm going to bring in, I've got a heat press. I might do it with the heat press actually, but I have an ironing pad as well. So let's get these dry, and then okay, well now these are dry, so they are dry to the touch. I've got my heat press heating up. This is an HTV Ront. It's not the Cricket one. It was a lot cheaper than the Cricket one, about half the price. So, and I do only very occasionally these days do I do any vinyl, but I still do it. So yes, got my ironing pad. I think we'll do the 9 first. Just make sure this is not going to stick to anything. Get that out of the way. So that's my ironing pad. That's the thing that I'm sticking. This is my bit that's going over the top. And then I should just be able to pop this onto here and it'll be okay. So it's heated up now, so we will pop it up there. And we will see what happens. So I don't know whether, like I said, I don't know whether it'll work, but I have a feeling it's going to melt the glue. Oh, I've used the wrong one on the wrong thing. Oh, never mind, doesn't matter. I've used the one with the pattern on the 9. So what that should have done is should have bonded. It has indeed. Hopefully that hasn't bonded to the mat, but no, that's cool. That's come off. So that's bonded to that. That needs to dry. Well, not dry. Cool down because it's burning my fingers. So I could ideally do with another one. Maybe this is my opportunity to use something different. Maybe I should use this on here. Right. Let's get this one out. So I don't want to leave that heating too long. I mean, I could always turn it off, I guess. There you go. Not using too much electricity, can't afford that these days. So let's see. Maybe I should use this. I'm thinking have this, not the both halves of it, but like this at the bottom. So cut it in half. Yeah, in fact, I think I'm going to do that as a whole piece before I separate the pieces. Let's get a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut it rather than trying to do it with a knife, because if I try and do it with a blade, it'll just snag it and tear it. So if I do that, that piece should be able to be put over there. And then if we separate this with a bit of this, there we go. That's one layer which I might use at the top, but I might also use this layer, I don't know. That's cool. That's separated that bit, cool. So I was thinking maybe I do this bit down here, maybe have it like that. Or that. Do I want both bits? Don't know, what do I want to do? I'd like those like that, I think, on there. And then I could have, is this the interpiece? It is. And have that on there. I don't want to overlap it too much, because actually if I do it like that, it might go back together again. Oh no, it's not. It's not the mirror image of each other, so forget what I said. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. So I'm going to put that on. Let's heat that back up again. There might be a bit where it doesn't have anything. I'm hoping there won't be too much of a line. I don't know what to do about that. It's going to have to be a line, because I can't resolve that. So yeah, I'm not sure. It might show, it might not show. I might just overlap it and then sand off anything that's that's sticking out, like sticking up, sorry. So, happy with that? As you'll ever be, Dave. I'll put that on there. Let's do the top bit first. So it appears to work, this. I thought it might, because it turns that turns into kind of like a plastic coating that, in theory, if it's plastic, it should melt. So hopefully that's gone all the way down to the bottom. Oh, that's stuck nicely, I think. Oh, yes. Oh. Now, this is a different way of doing it, because if we'd done it with just the Mod Podge wet, you'd get wrinkling from the glue being wet. So now I might have just pulled a little bit off that top bit there, but let's see if we can stick that back down, if that sticks with this. Oh, that's stuck to there, so that's got sticky mark on there. I need to clean that before I use it again. Yeah, so I've pulled that bit off the top, that bit there, so I might have to patch that with a bit of this. Stick some of that on there. Just pull everything off the thing. I'll clean the base of this when it's cooled down. Obviously I'm not going to do it now because it's hot. Hopefully that's stuck there. Right, cool. Let's get this off there. Move that mat. So, just going to wait until that's cool before I move it elsewhere. So that's now stuck onto there. That is cool. That's better than I expected. So I'm hoping that if I push down on the napkin, it will just tear away neatly. I might have to cut through the middle of there so I can get some purchase on it. Same with there. So if I push down, it should just tear it away, and I don't mind a floofy edge because we can always get a thingy to it, nail file. Not a nail file. Yeah, an emery board. You know what I mean. That is coolio. Excellent, cool. So I don't know whether this bit's stuck, but yeah, it seems to have done. Just tear all the excess, the big excess off. Very big dangly bit there. Let's get rid of that. I'm not going to keep that bit. So again with this just needs to be torn away. So in fact, I might even try and do this with a blade. If my blade is very sharp, it should cut it and not drag it. Although it seems to have dragged it on that bit. We're not going to see that bit though, are we? So let's just do this, Dave. Tears much better that way because that's obviously the grain of the napkin. Not as easy to tear this way because it's going against the grain. So I will give this a bit of a file and then come back to you. So we've managed to do the filing down. So all I did was I just went round with my emery board, just filed. I use this just to file off any bits from the edges, just like that. and I think what we're going to do is we're going to put some ink on these, just in case. So that HTV Ront, if I can find it in my Amazon, I will put a link in my video for that HTV Ront. It's just like the Cricut. It's like the Cricut heat press. It's just cheaper. And I do need to say that if I do put a link, it is my Amazon associate link. So it means that I will get a small percentage of the sale. I have to tell you this, it doesn't affect your how much you pay, but I just get a percentage of it because I referred it. So if you are interested, that's it, and the link's there if you want to use it, and there's no pressure to use it. So but yeah, I do have to just tell you that that's what I will do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of colour in this, and I think this should be enough because I want it to feel like it's old. I don't know whether I want to use that or I want to use a brush. Let's just see what the brush looks like. Has this got any ink on it already? Or maybe the brush is easier. Yeah, the brush is easier. I'm worried about pulling the surface off of it, otherwise that too much resistance on this and it might pull all of that hard work off. Much nicer when it's not vivid white as well, so it gives it that kind of vintage feel that we all like, hence the reason why we get into these mad exploits of junk journalism. And no, it's not junk journalism, although the amount of journalism out there that is a bit junk. So I never said that. So anyway, so to make myself laugh about. So yeah, like it's come away there. It was almost like that those top two bits in the same place. It didn't bond. Maybe I had my fingers there when I was, gluing it. When maybe I was holding it down like that, and therefore it didn't stick. But we will make a feature of that, and I will do the same on this. Just take the whiteness away. I might use some antique linen for that. See if we can get that to just mellow it down a bit. Is it taking? Yes, it is. I was going to say I can't tell whether it's taking or not, but it is. I do have some more antique linen. Well, I think that's the better one. Yeah, that's the better one. I'll just give it that antique linen look. So a bit like old linen. Surprisingly. Don't have to worry too much about the edges because I think we are going to overlay it like that, so you're not going to really see it. So it's just the interior bit. But I quite like that. I did use I was going to use this interlayer on that one, but then it changed what I was going to do, which is great because I've got something different now. So the other thing I was thinking, I might do a bit of I don't know how this is going to go, but I might just give it a bit of a spray, move that one out of the way, a bit of a spray, move it out of the way. Because it's now got paper on the surface, it should take a bit of spraying. Oh, that's nice, that one there, that big blob that kind of spread out. And I'll see if there's any other colours that I fancy using. So, what else have we got here? I've got a few oxides, but like I say, I don't really like using oxides because of the texture. But if that's all I have, then that's all I have. Sorry, my little carousel is not turning and I can't tell why. it's because everything's trapped, that's why. So. Oh, I've got a green one, haven't I? Somewhere. Down here. Maybe a little bit of that. Don't want too much on it. Oh, maybe not too much, but like still put too much on it, Dave. Why don't you? Oh, I've splattered it on that one a bit, but never mind. Okay, so might have to put a little bit more on this one. What have we got? Brushed cork. Now this is a distress oxide, so we'll just have to give it a good old shake because it'll have settled. This is brushed corduroy though, so this should kind of let's move that one out of the way. That's fine, not too much. Spray, stay, and walk away, Dave. So we're going to have that on there. So we're just looking at the framing of everything and what we're doing as we go. I might just dab some of that off. Do I want something a bit darker now? Sorry, I sneezed. So I have to cut that bit out, otherwise I'll have deafen your eardrums. Broken your eardrums. Deafened you or broken your eardrums. Oh well, you know what I meant. So rather than spraying this one, I might just twang it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, lovely. Except for it's all gone over there. Yeah, that's nice. So again, just kind of mop off what I don't need. Might give it a tiny spritz of water just to kind of help with the movement of that. But I don't want it to get too wet and wrinkle, although that horse might have bolted. Just wanted it to move a little, but I don't want to put my finger in it if it's not dry, so can't really tell. Is it dry? A little bit wet still. Okay, cool. So what should we have on here? Maybe a... Right, I've got an idea for the outside. So I think what I would like is I'd like a free hand. I hope this is going to work. I'd like a free hand, almost like it's been stitched. So I'd like a kind of a free hand line down it. And then come back and do a bit of like that, and maybe do it, yeah, might do it all the way round, might do a couple of lines actually on the bottom here. Oh, it's stuck on there. than getting my sewing machine out, just to add a bit of interest. Again, we're going to do another line. Don't mind if it kind of intersects and passes over at points. We'll then use those passover points to our advantage. And then good job I'm not sewing it. That was with a wavy line like that. It's been tied off at the top, although it does look like it's a massive spider, or maybe an octopus. Oh yeah, I like that. I really like that. Maybe not great at doing the randomness, but you know, I do love it. In fact, not just like it. Right, that. So then, what we're gonna have? So that's our frame. Okay, so let's do. Maybe do we want a big bird, or should we have people? Well, let's have a look, and we'll get some quote chips out. So let's get quote chips. Let's have a look at let's have a look at, that's a good thing to do. We can have a look at those. I don't think I've got those out for a while. We'll get birds. Birds in. No, they're not birds, they're people. We've got people. We've got birds. What have we got down there? Tags. Fruit. Snippets. What's this? Oh, more people. More people? Yeah, more people. Not that. What's in snippets? What's in snippets? Oh, there's these. Oh, yeah, maybe them. Okay. Let's have a look and see what we want in here. So they're the words. What are these? Tim Holt mixed ephemera. So there's a variety of different things in here. That's an interesting possibility. It's not all Tim Holtz, but I say it's, yeah, it is that kind of ephemery stuff rather than I'm not. This is not the case. I'm just putting some ideas. Well, just pulling some things out that I like. I like them all because they're mine. What have we got there? We've got a couple of things. Oh, they're both the same. Maybe the lighter one. Other than that, no, that needs to just go in there. Let's move that out of the way. So, birds wise, let's have a look and see what we've got birds. Let's just put this together and see whether we need birds or whether that's the route we're going to go down. So, if I have something like that. Not sure about that. Yeah, not sure about that either. Yeah, Yeah, no, not sure about those. So, I mean, like, I could make them work, I guess. But let's have a look at what we've got. All these people. Where are me birds? Where's me bird box? Birds, where are you? Oh, let's have a look at people first. We've got him. No, don't like him. Them. Quite like them, you know. They're not Tim Holtz ones. They're ones I've cut out of a magazine. I'd like to see though if I can find my birds. They're flowers. Oh my! Have a look at flowers. Let's look at these. Where do me birds go? Lost me birds. Bird box. Snippets. But oh no, there you go. Just being silly. Just being silly. In the wrong box I was. There you go. Birds. Fine. So maybe a big flower, maybe. Not that. Or a big bird. Oh no, that's way too big though. Way too big. Even that giant card is way too big for that. I quite like that. Or would that look better inside? I quite like the representation there of the people and the hearts. I don't really want to cover it up too much. I could maybe cut that bit out and have that there. Don't know. Do know one thing, I need a drink. So. So, I'm not sure. Oh, that's quite nice. That's a bit more subtle, isn't it? Which way up does that go? That way up, Dave. Is it too... I think it might be too linear. Too many things just lined up. So we could go growing from in there. Got lost in there. Yeah, I think she needs cutting out better. I think I've realised the error of my ways. She's got a handbag that finishes there, I think. That's better. I was cutting her out. She's definitely got something over her arm, but I think it looks better like that than it did before. So maybe that in the background, so it kind of is behind, but also sticks out over the frame. And then have him behind. Oh, maybe him behind and her on the front there. Yeah, I quite like that. Is that the thing to do? Yeah, I don't want to be cutting them out. That's way too much to do. No, too big. Far too big. Again, nothing I want to cut out spend a lot of time cutting stuff out. Don't know how that goes. Is that supposed to be like that way or that way? I don't know. But there's nothing to stop us doing that, is there? Do I like it? I think I do, you know. I don't know whether I'm fussed now for a bird. Unless there's a bird that looks better than they do. Don't think that will. What have we got? We've got him. Do you know? No, I'm sticking with them. I'm really liking them, so we're going to use them. I think that's how we're going to do it, folks. So I know you can't really see now that that is a just cover his face up. Or I could go like that. I quite like that as well. I'm not sure. Does that add? Or is it not? I don't think it adds anything. Maybe have him just like that. That there. Yeah, I don't know whether that adds anything. And if you're going to put something on, you want to make sure it's adding something to it. It's not just there for the sake of it. So is that too much to have it very diagonal across the page? And you know, I quite like that. And we could always have a word or something. I think we're going to do that. I think that's where we're going. So I'm definitely going to stick them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick her feet to the frame. Let's move this out of the way. Where's my glue there? I'll move the rest of the stuff in a minute. So I'm going to stick her feet to the frame. And that way then she's not going to move from where I wanted her. And I might stick his arm to the frame. Just under there. And then stick that in place. Like that. Oh, that stuck to my elbow. Just a blob, just to keep it in place for the time being. And a blob behind his hat. Which means then we can move the frame. And we can do something with this. So I think I want to cut it out better. So let's put these back because I don't want that. So I will cut this out when I find my scissors. Where are they? Oh, found them. Oh, found the box. That's what you get for not putting them away, Dave. Right. Give me a moment while I find my scissors. Yeah, sorry about that. It took me a while to find my. You won't have noticed because I won't have left it in, but I was taking a while to find my scissors because I didn't put them back in my box, which is unusual for me because I normally do. I'm just going to take a little bit more of this white off, not too much. I do still want it to have a white outline. Well, I will colour it down, you know. I'm not going to leave it as white. It will be creamy coloured. Go with the rest of it. I just want to kind of just give it a bit more of a shaping. So yeah, so I think I like how it's turned out actually. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Like I said, I'll be very honest with you. I didn't really know where I was going with it, but I am very happy with the way it has evolved. And I do think that it's a real good thing for you to do, is just start with that blank canvas and give it a go and see what happens, because it takes you to places you didn't think you were ever going to go. If you know what you're going to make all the time, it can get a bit boring, can't it? So let's just roughly shape that one as well. Cutting the excess off. Do you know, I'm not going to do too much more to it. I'm not even going to bother with the cutting the white bit out of the middle. I think I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm just going to colour over it and just give it a bit of a creamy background. You're not going to see it as much then anyway. It kind of knocks it back and you don't see it so much. So we're going to pop this back here and just check. Yeah, that's going there. Oh, I love that. Yep, that's going to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fully ink that. No, not yet. We'll just go down this edge for the time being. Actually, we can go up to there. Because that bit's going to stick on the frame. Yes, 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 yes. Right, okay, let's stick these bits down so we know they're fully stuck. Do I want to do anything with that white bit at the top where the napkin came off, or am I not worried about it? So that can be stuck down there. Sorry, stop talking. So they are going to go like that. Do I want something here? I could always just put a bit of book page, I guess. Just kind of tear it off. Doesn't have to be out special. Let's have a piece of this. It's just one page now, it isn't. Maybe put that over there. I could always, I know I'm covering that up, but I can always go over it again. Let's put that on there. Actually, we're going to just ink around that edge. Just we're putting it on, we might as well emphasize that we have. Just glue all over that bit and stick that on there. That'll just cover up that bit where the thing came off. I will cut that off there and fold it over rather than cut it off to the frame. it into there, and you're never going to see it anyway. And then, do I want to, oh no, I don't know, do I want to go through with that line? I might put that line back in. Go. Just move that over a bit. Okay, and then do I want anything else on that? Yeah, I do want a quote on there, so I do like, well, it just kind of take the scenic route. Try that. Dwell in possibilities. The thing is, they're all getting a bit samey, aren't they? Today is full of possibilities because we've used them all. So creativity takes courage. Possibly. Find joy in the ordinary. Lucky is a state of mind. Live in the moment. Lucky is a state of mind again. Lucky is a state of mind. Like, there's a lot of them. Own your dreams. Seen and noted. Travel the world over. Travel the world over to find the beautiful. It's not really applicable. Documented. Today is full of possibilities. Dwell in possibilities. One of a kind. Believe in yourself. I think I've used all the other ones. Embrace the journey. Collection. Follow your heart. Right. What was the creativity takes courage? I think that's the one. Because I was brave and I didn't know what I was going to do other than I wanted an altered card and I'd got a few possibilities. So I've got that. Do I want one of these as well? Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Always keep inside your heart a pocket full of dreams. Is that too much? Am I putting too much on it if I do that? What else have we got? The sky is full of stars and there's room for them all to shine. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Live for the moments you cannot put into words. There's a lot of things I can't put into words, to be fair. Let's face it. The only time to ever look back is to see how far you've come. Nature creates the greatest effects with the most limited means. I think maybe those two. Do I want to do that? Want that on there? Does it add? Yeah, I quite like it. I shall be honest and I shall say I quite like it, so I will do it. Does anything of mine add anything to it? No, not really. Don't think anything I've done is big enough, so. No, we're going to do this. Let's just say there's those three, isn't there? That's quite big. No, better without, I think. I think that'll be the same for that as well. Does that add anything? Do you know what? I think I'm going to add that one. So we're going to take the back off this because this is too thick. Without ripping it, because I've only got one of them. Okay, we're going to give it a bit of a hinky edge so it doesn't stick out too much like a sore thumb. Bit of a Roly Mankify. A Mankify is just making it look not quite so new. Manky. I don't know whether anybody knows what Manky means, but Manky is something that's not very nice. So, well, it certainly is here in the UK. I don't know whether it means the same anywhere else, but that's what it means here. It's got a bit grubby. It's gone a bit manky. So pop that on there. And then we'll have that going along there. So first of all, let's glue this down, otherwise this will not, it won't stay where we need it to be. So we'll glue it all around the edge. Under his feet, around the inner edge. Should key nicely though, because we've got that nice what's it called, napkin. I should have a nice key and stick well. Yep, like that. Flip that over, line that up. Sticking out, so stick that down. Excellent. Stick her down. Oh, get the glue off her. Oh, sorry, lady. Didn't mean to bend your head. Don't want to break your neck. Actually, yeah, quite like that. Where I've put lifted it and the flower's gone behind, because actually that makes more sense. It makes it more unified. Yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Do I want to keep that, or do I want to split that as well? I think I might split this as well. Just because it's a little bit too thick. That one doesn't need mankifying. We'll just do something around the edge though. Put this on the back so I can put it in the corner. Might need to hold that down with something because I feel it's going to peel up otherwise. And then we'll do this one. Pop that on there. That kind of straight. Oh, I love that. I so love that. I know you shouldn't be saying these. Well, sorry, I shouldn't be saying these things about my own stuff, but I do. I love it. That is ace. So glad I did it. And I've got that element of the heart that I wanted to keep. You know, I said I was worried about covering it too much of it up. That is beautiful. I love it, and I love that way of applying the thing, the napkin. So there we go. That's an altered playing card. I know it's a giant playing card. It's still a playing card though, so you know, I did have the whole suit of cards, but the whole deck, sorry, of cards. But I don't have them now because I've obviously used them for craft. So, but there we go. So that's my altered playing card. Well, I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will at least give it a thumbs up. Maybe comment, share it, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. So take care, folks. Lots of love from me. My name is Dasher Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Bye. Bye.